that took me down a path of buying into clapped out software companies. So I started buying into software companies that had kind of failed to launch, that had spent far too much money getting nowhere. And what I really learned from that was that it's not about the code. I've learnt now, you know, I can lead teams of Oracle guys, I led Java, we rewrote stuff in .NET, we took stuff, doesn't really matter. You know, right now I have a games company, and we write Flash-based games. I've got a Java team, but I really couldn't care less. And I think one of the best things I learned was I sat in a presentation from an organisation who blathered on about J2EE compliant, blah blah blah, and I fell asleep. And I had absolutely no idea what this company did, who they were going to do it for, and how they were going to make money. And so for me, what I'm really interested in is, like Doug was talking about the gaps, I want to know who's got a problem, who's a customer that's got a problem, and what can I do to learn everything I can possibly learn about that problem. And then, how can we work out how to solve it for them? And is that customer base, that people with the problem, is that a really big segment? Because I'm interested in that. So nowadays I want to look at things and go, is there $1 billion market in here? Can we do that? So the company that I'm running now, we've just recently got funded. I put some money in first, and we had an initial angel investor, and now we've done our second angel round. We've got a team in Hamilton and a team in Christchurch, and the reason I have them there is that I ran a software company in Hamilton, which was a big Oracle neural networks blah 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 company. And the team was a hot team, and so the company got sold a few years ago. When they heard I was back in business, they basically all just kept bothering us until we put a Hamilton office in, and now every time I ring, someone else who used to work for me seems to answer the phone. And we had 3 more started over the Christmas break, and basically if you can find a team of people that you love and that you really like to work with, keep them. You know, if you're smart, you can retrain in anything. I don't think it matters whether you're doing Flash or you're doing, you know, doing Java or you're doing whatever. In the end, it's about, can you guys work together? Can you solve problems? Do you like each other? And but the biggest one for me is there a customer with a really big problem? And can you solve that problem? And otherwise, it's just a kind of cool, techie, geeky idea, and it's never going to turn into a business. So for me now, I always start with the customer first and not with the code. And so I know it's kind of the opposite, but if you could take one thing away from what I have to say today, it's just not about the code. The code is there to solve the problem. And what happens is lots of people get really excited about the code, and they think, gosh, you know, we'll just build this thing because we can. And those companies, more often than not, are the ones who go broke. And rather, the companies who go, I've got a sale here, I've got a customer who wants something, how the hell are we going to build it? Those companies have got a much better chance of surviving.
Good words. Our school, we were quite advanced actually. We had our own card reader.
Oh my god.
I'm Lance Wicks, and I'm a Wellingtonian. I've probably spent too much time overseas, but I've enjoyed all of it. And I guess I'm a geek at heart, but I don't program. I like spreadsheets and a little bit of VBA, but that's about it. But I've always fitted between technology and business, and that's really where I see myself. I blog, I Twitter, I write for Idealog and maybe something else soon, and all sorts of other stuff. I want to talk about my career, especially the early bit, because I think that's the thing that's relevant. My first job was actually at Mobile. My degree was a Bachelor of Technology at Massey. My first job was at Mobile in the IT department. And the first thing I did was went on a JCL course. Who knows what JCL is? That's under 30. It's a job control language. It's what you use to control really big IBM mainframes. Used to use. And I decided I didn't like it too much and said I don't really want to code. And even when they upgraded me to the new mini computer, but eventually ended up on the Australia-New Zealand FPOS project, where we actually put FPOS terminals in every single service station throughout both countries, which is really bleeding edge stuff. It was over X25 packet twist network. Right. We thought it was bleeding edge. And this is before the internet thing. And But eventually that finished and went really well, and I flipped over into the marketing side of the business and sold oil and gasoline. And then really eventually ran into a brick wall inside that organisation. Couldn't see a great career going forward, and so took off from my OE. Had a great time overseas, European bank, started a music company in Montreal, and ended up at Yale University and did an MBA in strategy and finance and that sort of stuff, corporate governance. From there, I flipped over into McKinsey over in the States, had a great time over there, and then after a bit of motorcycling in too many places, ended up back in New Zealand, running some of these lousy internet businesses that someone else didn't want to run. And then ended up at a really good internet business, TradeMe, and helped Sam and the team move from 12 people to about 60 or 80 when I left. And I also got involved with doing the deal itself, which is a lot of fun. After TradeMe, went over to Fairfax and helped sort of drag stuff from a little dark room into a bigger dark room and handed it over to Bernard Hickman. And I've also done a bit of turnaround of refineries and that sort of things in lousy locations like Mozambique and Perth. And these days I'm doing work with Better by Design for a private company that the government pays to go into small companies, medium-sized companies in New Zealand. That's like $10 to $50 million of turnover. That's medium-sized in New Zealand. That's small in the rest of the world, by the way. We go into those companies and help them become more like Apple. And it's a phenomenal program. If you ever get a chance to do it, just take it on. I do random consulting work. But my real passion is in helping startups start. So the one that Ollie mentioned before, the My Tours one, I helped Glenn, got Glenn and put him in touch with Ollie and Nick, and Decisive Flow. There's Power Kiwi, which is we're an online, we're on Power Shop and we sell flower power. If you don't know what those words mean, look them up and switch over to Power Shop because you'll save a lot of money on your power. I'm also involved with Techbiz New Zealand, which is a company that makes printed circuit boards and controllers and all sorts of things like that, and a few other things. The coolest thing is the people I'm involved with range from Coz and Joshua, Rails guys, to Ollie and Nick, also Rails guys, to some guys in Auckland who are .NET guys, and also Lingo Power. We're involved with a bunch of obviously iPhone devs and things like that. Lingo Power's we've got 47 iPhone apps, which are translation. So that's me. I know it's a bit long-winded, but I kind of wanted to paint the picture to say that you can kind of go in different directions. There's three options as you leave university, right? Well, there's three options at any stage in your career, let's face it. Start your own gig, go and join a small company, or work for a big corporate. I just want to talk quickly about those three options. Starting your own gig. When you're young, it's the best time to start, and there's three reasons. One is that you've got the time, you've got the speed, and you don't have the money. Okay, you don't need money to live. You can live on virtually nothing, so you can just put all the sweat into it. You've got the time, you don't have many other commitments, so you can just do it while you're still at university. And you're fast, you're young, you're learning like a sponge, and you're just going to be faster than anyone else around. Okay? The second thing is that you're young and you know more than the market. So you see the new Twitter or the new whatever coming on, or you see the gap that the old people won't see. And so just go for it. And you've got to look for the unmet need and the thing that makes you mad. There's no question about that. And then the third thing is you get to do stuff that you want to do. Okay? So you go off and do stuff that you love. And as Dave said earlier, get with a team of people that you love working with and let everybody do stuff that they love doing. So there actually are people out there that love doing accounting, right? And there's a bunch of them over at Xero, along with a bunch of other people that love doing design, love doing coding, and so on and so forth. Okay? Small companies. You get to do a wider range of stuff and you get to do an earlier career. However, they will pay you a bit less, and it's a bit of a lottery as to whether you land in the right one or not. Okay, but it's a really good option to work for a small company because if you get a good one, you're going to be exposed at a much faster rate to